Welcome to The Blueprint Season 2. We are so excited to kick off this season with Emily Hess, who has partnered with us. So we're so excited about that from a business side as well. But we thought she'd be the perfect guest to kick off Season 2. And our topic for today is starting strong in 2026, setting SMART goals. And I'm so excited about that. And you guys are going to love Emily's energy she's going to bring to this conversation. So Emily, take it away, introduce yourself, and tell us a little about you.
Thank you so much. I am so excited. I'm excited to be here in general. So as you mentioned, we recently partnered, which is so exciting. I opened my own business about 6 months ago, and this is my first official partnership.
Yes.
And it's the most delightful thing, and our energy just matched. A lot of what I do is just I like to call it the nerdy side of marketing. So people get into marketing because it's fun and it's beautiful, and you get to write and design and photograph, and then you get into it and you're like, and there's data and coding and spreadsheets. And I got into it and I was like, and there's data and coding and spreadsheets. And I love photography, and I love that. That's how I got through college. But I always heard this saying that John Mayer really loves metal, but he has the voice of an angel. So here he is. And I feel that way about art. I have a heart for it, but I have a brain for technology.
Yeah.
And this is just MarTech is the industry, which I hate a word that's made up in real time, but here we are. But yeah, it's an industry that kind of found me, and I'm so delighted that I feel like we found each other, and it was like two halves. I was like, oh my God, you don't have a nerd.
Yeah,
Hi.
and we're so excited about that, about the CRMs, the automations, AI.
Oh my gosh,
which is such a huge, creating these, which are beautiful. Like the systems that we're working on, like at the end, like they are a pretty item that comes out at the end of that, which is kind of the puzzle solving piece. I love the problem. What's the problem? What's the pain point? And how do we fix it? That side of what you do. So we're excited today. We're talking about SMART goals. So what does goal setting look like for you at the start of a new year? So this is going to be your first beginning of the year as a new business owner too.
It is, yeah.
So that's a fun kind of angle versus this will be my third year coming into it with K Marketing Co. and setting our goals, but coming to it from, my gosh, over 15 years of being a business owner and setting SMART goals. So okay, give me the newbie side.
Oh man, isn't it just so funny that it's like that hierarchy of needs where you feel like SMART goals are like, you're like, oh Jesus, I'm just trying to survive right now. You are so sincerely still in that fight or flight mode, and I mean this with all the gratitude in the world. Like things are going well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I feel like I couldn't imagine if I was in a point where I was so new and very much struggling to find business.
Yeah,
but even with things going, my husband and I always have this joke that we're like, things are going according to plan. The plan was just stressful.
Yeah.
And that's the sacrifice sometimes.
Right.
But you also can't find success without those SMART goals, without it being measurable and without having action behind it.
Yeah.
But I also have this weird perspective in it as a person in recovery.
Yeah.
I always joke that New Year's resolutions aren't something that people who have been to rehab do. Because every day is
a New Year's resolution.
Yeah. And so truly I live a little over 2 years in recovery now, but I lived in a facility for months, and I've been through that daily practice of, if I do not make these goals, I will not be here.
Right.
And not that it doesn't make anything else trivial. It almost emboldens you that you have this power to do anything.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to live in that grounded whimsy.
Right. Well, and I love how you said, as a new business owner, sometimes going into the new year, you can think of it, and I've said this before, I actually wrote a whole article about this last year, was that you're either going into the year super excited and you're the coal is in the engine and we're just full steam ahead, right? And sometimes you go into the year and you're thinking, whoo, that was fun.
Yeah.
And really you're like, no, that was not fun. And you're in survival mode, right? And sometimes you, especially with the holidays, are entering the new year in kind of a burnt out state, right? Because we joked about this the other day, but the amount of networking events over the Christmas season is
bananas.
Noted.
Yeah. It's bananas.
And you're trying, and we were talking as Emma was setting up the equipment, but I have kids with the November and December birthdays.
Yep.
And all of the kids' things and all the concerts, and our daughter is in the Nutcracker, and all, and
it's also important.
That's
the other. It's all like you're a bad parent.
It's all important.
Yeah.
It's all important. And so then, on top of that, you're like, and now let's set goals.
Yeah.
And I just want to take a nap.
Right.
So I think that you go in with those 3 mindsets.
Yeah.
And I love that the clarity of SMART goals comes into play.
Yes.
In just saying, don't look at how I feel right now. Don't look at how I feel today. Look back on the year as a whole. And what did you do that resulted in measurable, tangible goals, right? Because I think sometimes, especially this time of the year, we're looking at it and we're thinking of all the things we didn't get accomplished.
Right.
In verse of saying, let's look at all the things we did accomplish.
Yeah.
Which is a cool thing. So as SMART goals, let's kind of back it up a second, because I thought, I was like, we didn't actually say what SMART goals are.
Yeah.
So let's just generically say that you're listening to the podcast and you're like, what is a SMART goal? So a SMART goal is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. So when we're talking about it over a year, what I see, and I'm sure you've felt this way too, as a new business owner, is what is your sales goal? And if I would talk to it's usually as much as possible.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like every sale is a good sale.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or it's something that's just like, well, what's the standard? And you're like, no. What's yours?
What is yours? Yep.
Like, we want to keep up. Okay. With what?
Right. With what? Yeah.
Would you like to keep up with mediocrity? Because I'm sorry, I'm maybe not the person for you. You can find that elsewhere.
You can yeah, no, that's a good point, is in that specific and measurable. Thinking of that as a business goal is saying selling as much as possible. You are literally setting yourself out to fail.
Oh, yeah.
Because as much as and again, going through recovery, that's saying I'm just going to eat more.
Right.
That doesn't, like when you're any of those situations, I'm going to, like, losing weight, I'm just going to work out every second I can.
Right.
Like that.
There's a different problem in your solution, perhaps. Yeah.
There's a different, And so even for us going into last year, and I didn't write it down specifically as SMART goals, which is something that as we've been working through EOS, like it's been something that we've really been focusing on. But that's specific, right? What do we love as a company? We love marketing management clients. We can serve them the best. We get to build those long-lasting relationships. We get to see things go from concept to branding to then the deliverables, right? Which is the clients and bringing in more sales for your business and that part of things. That is specific, right?
Yeah.
We want more marketing management clients. When I talk to our clients about their goals, right, and their marketing goals specifically, and they say, I'll use the example of TikTok. I want to be really active on TikTok.
Cool.
Why? Right? Like, why? Right? Like, you're a local service industry.
Right.
And for you, it might be not advisable for your marketing dollars.
Right. Does your accountant need to be TikTok famous?
Right. Exactly. For us, it's networking events, right? Like, we work with a lot of B2B. So when you said earlier about being a business and you're like, I just need more clients, is it part of your SMART goals for the upcoming year to join more networking groups, to carve in that time to go back and listen to some of our earlier podcasts on networking and the value of networking and how that can play into it.
Yeah.
So, So can you share an example of a time when a SMART goal helped you move your business?
Oh, I mean, the inception.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Right?
Like.
And commercial cut. But I think as a girly with ADHD and the depressed girlies out here, I'll get this one with so many figs. I've always been a Sylvia Plath girly, and I just can feel the figs around me. You know what I mean? And they're rotting in Paris, and they're rotting here, and I was put in this position where I loved my job and, you know, the world's been rough. And I was laid off.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I thought about what my next step wanted to be. And I wasn't in a position that I wanted to be the newest marketing hire in the door full time in this economy. And at the same time, I also had really built this ethos that was really important to me.
Yeah.
And I kind of realized that I would give too much of myself to whatever the next thing was. So it had to be myself.
Yeah.
But I'm not really good at like, I always said like I could do the marketing. I didn't know if I could do the sales. I didn't know if I could do like, I could do the operations. I didn't know if I could do the strategic, like developing a board kind of thing, getting my EIN, those kind of things. So I had to set those strict financial goals. And I was in a position where I had a severance. And so I literally said, until my severance is out, I have to make my salary plus 20% to cover taxes in that time.
Yeah.
And that gave me the summer.
Yeah.
And I did it by 2 days.
That's awesome.
Literally, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
but that's a specific
It was incredibly
goal
specific.
with a very specific deadline.
Yes.
And you worked towards that.
Oh,
which probably
audaciously.
propelled your business further than the person just saying, sell as much as possible,
Absolutely.
work as much as possible.
Well, and it also gave me permission to do it without shame. Because I feel like I had this thing of, should I still be applying for jobs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I think that's such a thing in the consulting game of like, because even now where I feel like people are well known that I'm very happy in this and you know what I mean? We're doing partnerships like this and I feel very good about where I am. There's still people who have been in the game for a long time that are like, what would it take for you to go back to a company?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, my name on the lease.
Yeah.
It just, it has to be something from within. But I had there is that weird guilt of like, wait, you bet on yourself and is it the right bet?
Yeah.
And it gave me an insurance policy.
Yeah.
By giving myself those goals, it wasn't me giving myself homework. It was giving myself permission.
Correct.
And once I hit that, I was like, okay, that was 3 months. Let's go for a year of profitability.
Yeah.
Let's hit a year of profitability. And we set another 4 months after that. And again, it was like within a week.
You're like EOSing without EOSing.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Well,
like
that's
the
the thing.
90-day,
100%.
90
Yeah,
day,
I'm very much an EOS girly.
Yeah.
I like to do like a girly pop version of it.
Yeah.
So I do vision boarding.
Yeah.
Is my rocks, my actions. You know what I mean? And I believe so truly. And it is the EOS model. If you see it daily and you remind yourself of it daily,
absolutely,
you're going to achieve it.
Absolutely. And when I was in the Mary Kay world, which is where I resided for 10 years and was a very high achiever
and
in
succeeded.
that.
Yeah, I was going to say, and kind of was bossing at it, by the way.
I had my husband in my office at the house paint the entire one wall of my office hot pink. And that entire wall was covered with goal sheets. It was goal sheets for myself. It was goal sheets for my unit. It was goal sheets for my key team members. And I tracked all of it, and again, not to age myself, right? But 15 years ago, we didn't have the computer capacity that we have today.
Sincerely.
With all that being tracked, and there was no system that showed me on a screen. And so I just made it an entire wall in my house. But every day it would be a reminder of, this is what I said was important. These are the reasons that I said it was important. And here are the tasks that I'm going through to achieve that goal. And it was all time bound. And, in the Mary Kay world or anything that's in multi-level marketing, right? The time goal isn't one that you can shift.
No.
Yeah. You can't be like, let me give myself another 2 months. They're going to be like, so that's a hard no.
Cute. Goodbye.
But you could try again in the next 90-day period. So that really helped me build that structure around, the goals. And common mistakes. Oh, this is a good question too. Like, what would be a common mistake that business owners make when they're setting their SMART goals for the new year? I mean, I think we touched on some of this, but making things that are too broad.
I think also not accepting fluidity throughout it.
Oh, that's a good one too.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like a year is a long time.
A year is a long time. And I also think that like part of what makes my business model as a consultant successful is the level of adaptability.
Yeah.
You don't make money in AI without being adaptable.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I was still selling chat version 1, I don't think that I'd be here right now.
Right.
You have to, like, I can say I had this dollar amount goal and I want it by this date, but I thought I was going to be doing more webinars. By the time I could write the curriculum, the software was updated.
Yeah.
It has to be lifetime meetings. It has to be one-on-one trainings. But I had to completely rewrite
how your business model
the plan, but you don't give yourself permission to rewrite the goal.
Yeah.
Like, just because the situation
it's
changed.
It's just the action items that you're doing to get to where.
Absolutely.
We looked at that a lot too this year when we look back and we're saying like, oh, we don't really do that much anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
That's adaptability. And that really goes back to at the beginning of the year, we looked at who are the clients that we can serve the best. And that was marketing management, and full website builds.
Sure.
And really, I would say that 95% of our client base falls into one of those two categories now. And then, that goes back to saying, hey, we were specific.
Right.
And to see kind of the next step. And I think give yourself permission to not be perfect.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Perfection is the killer of progress.
Right.
Every time.
To say, sometimes we come into it and we think, I need it all to be perfect. And I have to print out this sheet and I have to read these 4 books and then I can go. Right. And I think that knowing your personality style, but also saying you have to just do the thing. Right. And I love how you were saying that the goal, the destination, that doesn't end. Right. So we also can't write a SMART goal that says, I need to grow my business in what capacity, right? I need to find more clients.
Right.
And then continue to sit around and play on Facebook and wonder why you're not finding more clients.
Right. Adapt. Grow. Yeah.
Right. And I used to always say this in back in the day when I worked again in Mary Kay, because it was all 1099s, right? So
sure, yeah.
You don't get paid by the hour, you get paid by the sale, right? And so what you want to make an hour and what you want to make at the end of the year is truly up to what you're going to do. And this is pre-COVID when I was doing all of this. And I would say you are not going to make $1 million or grow your business within the confines of the 4 walls of your home.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're going to sit there and hope that it comes to you, it's not, and your SMART goals, again, should be what are called IPAs, which are income producing activities.
Oh, I love this.
And if you're constantly saying that your goal or your to-do list is, again, a SMART goal to say, now I'm going to back this up a little bit. I'm going to say it from more of a goal setting side is the goals that you're setting actually going to help you hit the goal that you put at the end of the sentence? So is building 20 beautifully designed landing pages that I'm not going to put the ad dollar behind to push them out on the platforms that they need to be pushed out on. The 12 beautifully created landing pages, they just gonna chill.
Right. Yeah. That's so cute. For you, I guess.
Yeah, that's so cute for you. I love that for you.
Love that for you. We don't care.
But sometimes we get so stuck in the process.
Yes.
And trying to make the process perfect that we are actually doing the thing.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Build one landing page. Go out. Put the ad spend behind it, go to the networking events, get the QR code, and see if it's working.
You have to get it done before you can do it right.
Yeah. And then just say, well, I did all this work.
Cool.
Yeah, I love it. That's great.
People do a lot of work all the time.
Right. And getting out there and actually making sure that you're working the plan and not just having the plan be make all these things or organize all these things or systemize all these things.
Yeah.
You got to go out and do the things.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Right. The other one is if the goal is too broad.
Yeah. This is messy.
Yes.
I want to go broad all the time.
I know, me too. And it's because most entrepreneurs are 10,000 foot view people.
Right. Absolutely.
And so we are and my team has reminded me of this often. I'm like, let's do this and this and this and this. And also, by the way, can we do this too?
Yeah.
And sometimes the looks on their faces reminds me that, right, let's do this thing and maybe a tad of this thing.
Right. Yeah.
And
my sister and I have a fun little shorthand for this. So my sister and I have one of those relationships that we're just kind of always talking.
Yes.
And and this is funny too, knowing we're Jewish, but like because Jesus was known for carpentry.
Yes. Okay.
So like,
yep.
Babe, this isn't your thing.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'll be like, oh, I think I can start doing like logo design. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, because Jesus' carpentry popped off. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, right. Yeah, I should stick to the water to wine thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll go back to healing the dead. But like, so sincerely, you're probably really incredible at something.
Right.
Hone it and like tune into it. And I think that it's the same with our goals sometimes, that we're like, I want to be the best marketer. And you're like, that is so impossible, babe.
Right.
Like,
right. But I want to, increase our offerings and skills and knowledge in X, Y, and Z area.
Or do I think I could become the #1 reviewed within my niche, within my area?
Right.
Sure.
Totally
Absolutely reasonable.
Totally reasonable.
But just to be like, I want to be the most beloved marketer. You're like, cute. That's really, if you ask my sister, maybe.
I mean, and
honestly,
the
maybe
most
not.
beloved is finding your success on others' opinions of you,
and also,
which is also not so great for your mental health.
But I do find that I think that I lean into that sometimes of like, oh, I want to be seen as a good business. And I'm like, what does that mean? Do I want to be known for my charity? Do I want to be known for my work ethic? Do I want to be known for the way that I carry myself?
Right.
Do I want to be known for the way I treat my community? Because those can all be true, but they can't all be the headline.
Right. That's so true.
But yeah,
that's a boom statement again in there too. And okay, so let's talk about like the ROI. When we're thinking, is my SMART goal then worth the time, energy, and impact?
Right.
Which is also, I heard this in a book and it was really powerful for me, is saying, I want to become, let's say, a $2 million business next year.
Right on.
Back that goal down and look at what the time, energy, and investment is to get there. Are you truly committed to all of those things?
Right.
Because again, then you're also setting yourself up for something if you say that's going to require you to have a 60-hour work week. That's going to require you to reinvest all of your profits. That's going to require you to
spend your December networking.
What? December networking. Right. I had a really great time. So all of our friends, we had a great time. And the thing with the networking was, I said, I think it was to you. I said, this is my first year networking this much in the month of December. Yeah. And so now it's not going next year and saying, I'm not going to do that again.
No.
It's going and saying, I also need to maybe pre-plan my Christmas shopping, pre-plan other things I need to do in my personal life and my professional life to allow the space for these things that I know are coming that are important to my business. Yeah. And it's not, but it was this year being like,
it hits you like a brick wall.
Yeah. It was.
And again, it is so much. I feel the same way about a lot of things where I'm like, it's a lot, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it so much. It's such a joy. If I suddenly couldn't do it anymore, I would be crushed.
Yes.
But I'm also just like, all right, let's ramp up. Let's do it. Like this must be how athletes feel. I'm just realizing.
I mean, it must be.
This must be.
But one of the cool things for our family is that I want to say it's almost 2 years now. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. I made it a personal priority that when my kids were off work, that I would do my very best to travel or be present with them on the days that they weren't in school.
I love that.
And I knew that in order to commit to that goal, that meant that I needed to work more hours in other weeks to adjust for it and also to plan accordingly for that. But, finding why that SMART goal is important, right? And looking at, in these months, I can give even more of myself to the business, knowing that in these months, the kids are going to be home more and I'm going to be giving more of myself to them.
Yeah.
And learning that entrepreneurial balance, right? Because it is hard, and saying, and also being, again, with the SMART goal, like saying, what is it? And then holding true to that goal and that value and saying, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, and that piece. Oh my gosh, the next question is, how do you balance ambition with realistic expectations, especially in small businesses?
Girl, let me know. Let me know. No, I am someone who fully crashed and burned so hard I had to go to rehab about it. You learn those lessons so fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I genuinely am a person that like And to give a little backstory, I went to treatment for an eating disorder, and I very much was the kind of person where it's all just like a symptom of that perfectionism and control. And I found myself, the more I felt like out of control of other things, that was like such a crutch for me. And I got to the point where I collapsed at work. And that is, I don't know how you guys work, not productive.
Not
kind
productive.
of the opposite.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, not great. And then having to be like, so I got to go to rehab about it for months.
Yeah.
Again, not productive. And having to come back and realizing that like the cost of going that hard is losing it all.
Yeah.
Is very, no pun intended, sobering.
Yeah.
Just the idea of like, okay, if I don't do this, the price is very, very, very high. And unfortunately, I'm the kind of person that has to learn those lessons
the hard way.
Yeah, but I did. And
but I think that
I'm
a lot of
that
things, and I see this so often, especially you have kids.
Sure.
I have a son, I have kids, and we so much want to protect them from the mistakes.
Oh, of course.
But also realize that the grit and determination and the why won't be developed until they learn the lesson on their own.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that in business and in life, my mom was co-owner of a very, very successful business until she retired. And I think even in my journey, watching me go through a failing business, and she could have stepped in at any moment and just fixed it.
Right, yeah.
And like such a woman of grace, she pretended she didn't know it was happening.
Right.
She actually found out that it was happening because my then daughter, who was probably 6, let it slide in a car ride with her.
Oh.
And she sat and gracefully watched me go through that journey without stepping in.
Right, yeah.
And she could have, and she didn't, And one of the things that it literally gives me like goosebumps is that she gave me the space to learn the lesson and also to see what was most important to me, what was most valuable to me, and so that I would take ownership of it.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I think to myself, and in many situations, in conflict, and how my mom just came in and gracefully said nothing.
Yeah.
And her like the amount of maturity to be able to just watch it happen and be ready to pick up the pieces on the other side, but choose not to. I don't even know if I'm like putting that in the right.
No, but it's a gift to be able to give your child the space to bet on themselves.
Yes. That's a great way of saying what I was trying to say.
Because that means that she always has.
She always has.
She's always been betting on you. So why not give you the space to do what she's always done?
And just thinking like with my children, sometimes my husband will get very frustrated when Hunter doesn't turn something in on time.
Sure.
And then we'll get equally as frustrated at me that I'm not as frustrated.
Right. Yeah.
At him.
Yeah.
And I was like, he realized he forgot.
Right.
He's going to fix it. Yeah. We don't have to have a 30-minute.
Act like I didn't turn things in late too. We learned those lessons.
We learned those. But he has to learn it. He has to learn. And, just watching that kind of come through the generations and seeing what my son has achieved. And we haven't forced him into those things. We've given him the space to grow.
Right.
And watch him do that.
And they'll find respect for that.
They will. Like, if you want to do your homework, you have to make that decision.
Yeah.
I can't make it for you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Then when you become we say it all the time, we're like, this is a life skill. Like being bored. Yes. We're like, that's a life skill.
Love that. Oh my God, that's wonderful. Well, I told you a while ago, Meg Lau, she's the new executive, but it was like 2 years ago, the executive director at Kobe's. He was my 3rd grade math teacher. And I told you he was like a treasure of mine. He was the only teacher who ever gave me detentions. Because I would like hand in things later. I wasn't, you know what I mean? And I was a child actor at the time, weird, but he was the only one that was like, no, you still have to be accountable for these things. Yeah. And 30 years later, here I am writing him letters and being like, I'm so thankful
that
for
you
who you
pushed
were.
me. And disciplined me. And
exactly. And now I was working with foster children. Like, what an incredible person to have that heart and continue that.
I love that.
But it wasn't that he was the kind. Now he was the kindest, but it wasn't that he didn't hold me accountable.
He was instilling values in you. Yes.
Yeah. At a time that
he wasn't
it was
accepting.
3rd grade.
I know, but it all matters. It matters. It matters at every at every stage.
Yeah.
All right. So that was a great conversation. I loved
so
it.
Good.
I hope I hope everybody tunes in. So I love this. Just to recap, flexibility is part of the process.
Oh, it has
we
to be.
totally covered that. SMART goals don't have to be locked in. They are just giving you clarity.
Yeah.
And really taking the time to look at them, and also don't be so rigid that if the SMART goal's not working, like,
I can't believe we haven't done the It's a Blueprint reference.
Change it.
For the podcast. That's crazy to me. I'm so embarrassed. Hello,
it's your
marketing.
Blueprint.
It's your blueprint.
And then, all that, be ready to pivot intentionally.
Yeah.
Don't just give up because you didn't put in the work.
Yeah, when you pivot intentionally, it's voguing, baby.
Correct. Yep. And then what advice would you give to a small business owner ready to set their goals for 2026?
Don't be afraid to bet on yourself. And also, like, you're not going to listen to my advice, because I wouldn't either, because I didn't until I had to. But when you do finally get forced to bet on yourself, your regret will be that you didn't earlier. So, like, make the goal.
Yeah.
Make it. And if you don't, what happens if you don't meet it? Are you going to go to jail?
Like, no.
You're gonna set a different one next year. So why not?
Yeah.
Set it the time will pass anyway.
Yes.
Set the goal.
I love that. I would say that my advice would truly be partnering with that on bet on yourself. But whether you are an entrepreneur, you are building your career, do the actions before they are noticed, and they will become noticed because you did the actions first.
Oof.
Right?
Tattoo that on my forehead. Oh my God, that's so good. I love that.
And I think that if I would recap how my mom lived her life and taught me to be such a successful entrepreneur, is she didn't come home from work and say, these are all the things I sacrificed. These are all the things, these are all the hard decisions I had to make. These are,
No.
She came home and she put on the mom hat and she did the mom thing. But she worked really hard when she was working.
Mm-hmm.
And she was really present with me and my siblings when it was her time to do that. And she did it all so gracefully. So, bet on yourself.
Go call your mom.
And go call your mom. Thank your mom.
Yeah, go thank your mom.
That's a good one, right? And we're really excited here at The Blueprint to bring on guests throughout the year. So make sure that you like and subscribe, because we have local business owners, nonprofit leaders, a whole bunch of just really exciting guests lined up for season 2. We have a guest every single week. We're just really excited to hear from so many powerful people here in the Lancaster area that are going to just pour into us on The Blueprint this year. So see you next week. Bye.